Alternate Universe Galnet News Digest, 17th of March 3306. We read the news from an alternate reality so you don't have to. In a packed bulletin tonight, Petraeus flees as federal forces invade. Thargoid negotiations intensify. Daring pirate raid targets Prince Jordan. Raxxla Wormhole, research continues. Buckyballers celebrate Olympus Pentathlon. Petraeus flees as federal forces invade. Senator Denton Petraeus, Admiral of the Imperial Fleet, has been forced to flee his home in Eotienses after the system came under intense bombardment from a combined federal task force. The raid was organised on the direct orders of President Hudson and is widely interpreted as a counter-offensive to divert Imperial forces from their so-called liberation of Tolseti from the Federation. According to reports, 7 Farragut-class battlecruisers jumped out of hyperspace near Eotienses A3, catching the 2 Imperial interdictors of the Petraeus home fleet off guard and rendering them inoperable within minutes. The Federal battle fleet then undertook a series of suborbital bombing runs, apparently targeting an area close to the senatorial residence. These bombing runs continued for around half an hour, until rescue arrived in the form of a flotilla of fleet carriers believed to have been under instruction from Emperor Lavinie Duval herself. The Federal fleet is not believed to have suffered any casualties, but was forced to retreat under onslaught from vessels piloted by commanders from a number of factions, including Lavinie's Legion. Admiral Petraeus is said to have escaped in an Imperial courier that he piloted himself. He is believed to have later returned to the system. It's not yet clear how much damage has been caused to the official residence, but there are concerns that ground troops from the Earth Defense Fleet may still be on the planet, and may attempt to assassinate the President. Emperor Lavinie Duval has made it clear that the Empire will not be diverted from its strategic work to prevent the Federation from developing artificial intelligence weaponry any further. Thargoid negotiations intensify. Tharg the Mighty has given humanity an ultimatum. Leave the Pleiades or be crushed. It comes following the total destruction of Obsidian Orbital and Titan's Daughter by a Thargoid mothership, but it's not completely clear at this stage whether the Thargoid negotiating position might be intended simply to gain concessions. The Thargoids have been demanding the handover of engineer Laurie Jameson as an act of retribution for the crimes committed by her great-grandfather, Commander John Jameson. It appears that the Thargoid interest in the Pleiades is restricted to systems containing the Barnacle mining devices, but the rate of production of new Thargoid ships at the hatcheries in the region seems to be intensifying, so a full-blown confrontation cannot be ruled out. The ongoing conflict between Empire and Federation is complicating the negotiations, with Jasmina Halsey of the Alliance conducting most of the proceedings on behalf of humanity. She travels to the negotiating sessions using her Moray starboat, which has been specially kitted out to land in the Ammonia Lakes off the Thargoid homeworld. Daring pirate raid targets Prince Jordan. The Code has pulled off their most daring raid yet, in the Mintaka system. Having intercepted an encrypted communication from the Semias system, they correctly guessed that there was something or someone of interest on board the converted Panther Clipper gas dredger Argonautica. Intercepting the dredger as it was making a pass through the upper atmosphere of the gas giant, and using the stealth for which they're rightly famed, they managed to gain access using an unsecured airlock, quickly overpowered the crew in hand-to-hand combat, and in the process identified their prize, none other than Prince Jordan Rochester, husband to Princess Aisling Duval, and a growing force in the mining business. The Code has demanded payment of 12 billion credits in return for the safe return of Rochester. Raxxla Wormhole, research continues. Canon Interstellar believes that it may be within weeks of solving the puzzle of Raxxla. Following the startling discovery late last year that the long-sought-after secret of the Dark Wheel was in an unmarked system between Lave and Deso, commanders have been attempting to work out how to activate the mechanism. Canon believes that it has partially decrypted the inscription, and that the other end of the jump gate is likely to be in or near the Messier 31 galaxy, in other words, the Andromeda galaxy. Quite what we'll find when we get there is a complete mystery. Will we find the rumoured Dark Wheel colony? Will we find alien cultures? Will the first ship through be ambushed as it arrives at its destination? When it happens, and whatever the outcome, this will be the most momentous event since the invention of the frameshift drive. Buckyballers celebrate Olympus Pentathlon. Following on from the success of the Sea of Tranquility racing event, the federal capital of Olympus City on Mars played host this week to the Buckyball Racing Club, who were hosting their first ever pentathlon. Combining the disciplines of running, scuba diving, big game hunting, fliving a light assault truck, and fencing with lightsabers, the event is considered to be the most gruelling so far for a generation of commanders more used to sitting in their cockpit. 30 competitors took part, much to the consternation of residents. As usual, Commander Alec Turner came a creditable second, with ultra-competitive Commander Will Flanagan of the Pilots Federation snatching first place. The marked racecourse near Olympus Village is one of a number of recently installed facilities, which both the Buckyballers and the elite racers plan to put to good use in the coming months. Next month's race will be at the course through the Tion Isla Orbital Graveyard. And that was this week's alternate reality Galnet news. There's far too much going on to cram into a single bulletin, so don't forget you can catch up on all the latest happenings delivered direct to your cockpit with the 24-hour rolling Galnet audio feed. Galnet News, we inhabited an alternate reality so we could all dream for a bit.
Never forget, what the spoon is a smug git.